This is a fantastic state. This is a great, great state. You know, we won New Hampshire 3 times now. Thank you very much. We love you. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon. We'll see you on the trail.
All right. Bill O'Reilly says Trump won. Obviously, we all watched it together. But Biden actually got the best fortune from the night. Why? Here he is. What's the answer, big man?
Well, because Nikki Haley wasn't knocked out of the race, so she's got at least another 4 weeks to pound Donald Trump and to confront him with he should debate, he should do this. And she'll try to goad him, and it's not hard to do, into personal attacks on her. That will absolutely happen. I thought Trump was pretty restrained last night because Haley went after him pretty hard in her concession speech. It wasn't even a concession speech. So Biden just sits in the back and watches these two flail at each other, and that helps him.
A question. When you have been around the president or talked to people who are around the former president, when they say things to him that would be obvious instructions from like you to me or me to you, don't talk about how she's dressed. Don't talk about her that way. Don't do that. Don't do that kind of stuff. It doesn't help. It's going to get us in trouble. Does anybody give him that kind of advice, or is it just how he is, which means he's going to do it anyway?
He doesn't have a lot of people giving him advice like that. He's never has. And I point out in my book, The United States of Trump, which is the best book if you want to understand the man, that Donald Trump has no filter. He's going to say what he wants to say. Whatever pops into his mind, he says. Because consequences to Donald Trump don't mean very much. What means the most to the former president is in the moment having people certify that he's a winner. That's what it's about. And he knows that his crew wants him to insult the opposition and to use framing that other politicians would not. That separates him.
Right.
And in his crowd, it's a plus. But he needs to get independent voters who don't like him to vote for him if he wants to depose Joe Biden.
That's part of the mystery of last night that I'm trying to figure out. You know, New Hampshire's a little different. Undeclared doesn't necessarily mean independent, and it's not a semantic difference. It is the largest group there. It's the largest group in the country, by the way, are people who don't want to be Republican or Democrat. But undeclared in New Hampshire tend to break conservative. They just don't like the label. So they're not really independent voters. And I feel like the message of last night, Nikki Haley's people are saying all these independents came out for her. I don't know that that's the case. I think a lot of Republicans who don't go by the word Republican came out and voted for her. But the message for the Democrats should be in the turnout. There were so many people who came out on the basis of fear and demand for fixing. And when you are the one in office, wanting things fixed is not good for you, Bill, right? Because you're the one who must have broken it or failed to fix it. And I wonder if they got that message.
Literally no one who has the ability to think clearly believes that Joe Biden is a successful president. No one. So it comes down to, we hate Trump so much that we're willing to go another 4 years with a man who is incompetent and perhaps has dementia. That's how far it's gone in this country. It's frightening. We're not looking at two parties anymore. We're not looking at Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan. We're not looking at any of that. We're looking at two sides that loathe each other. Trump is able to tap into that emotion. Conservative, traditional Americans despise emotionally what is happening under Joe Biden, particularly the open border, particularly that, but also the gender bending, the unfettered abortion. You just go down the list.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.